I photograph a lot of animals. I do. And I try to make it look fun and I try to make them look interesting. And that's a really important thing for me. But I also want you to understand that I have lots and lots of training and lots of experience with handling wild animals. I don't think it is safe for just anyone to go and grab an animal and put it on a Lego set and take a photo. I hope that you understand that a lot of the things that I photograph aren't safe for just anyone to be playing with. And the way that I take these photographs is very, very careful. I don't actually handle many of the animals that I photograph. I often just help them into the situation, take photographs, and help them out of the situation without physically touching them at all. That's the safest way to do it. All animals can be unpredictable. All animals can be dangerous. Anything with a mouth can try and bite you. Anything with claws can try and scratch you. So it's best not to handle any animal unless you understand the risks, you know the safety, you know the first aid, and you're respectful of their needs. So when I engage with these subjects, when I photograph these subjects, there's a few things that I often do to get these photos without being, physically in contact with these animals. Come and have a look at this. I'll show you what I mean. Come here. So, what we have here is a little praying mantis from my garden. Now, praying mantis are a predatory insect, so they have weaponry and they know how to use it. Making a praying mantis angry is an easy way to get injured and they can hurt you. So please be very careful, even with something like this that doesn't look that mean. Now, to photograph this on my Lego, all I'm going to do is invite it to explore the Lego set. So right now it's upside down on the lid anyway. Oh, no, it's not. It's changed its mind. We're just going to open up the container and let the insect have a look around. There we go. There we go. So now we have our praying mantis where we want it. Oh, it's going to attack the knight. We can take a photo of it like this. And then once we've taken our photos, then we're just going to do the same thing in reverse. We're just going to offer it a space to enter. So we have our container here. We offer it the container to enter. And ideally, it will walk into that space. And now we can put the lid on, carefully watching out for legs. And just like that, we photographed an insect without handling it at all. And this is how I get the photos that I take. I'm not handling things. I don't want to get hurt by these animals, but also I don't want to hurt them. Now our little mantis made that look easy the first time round, but not every insect will be willing to play quite so simply. Now, with this container, the other way that you can move an insect with a container is using the cup and paper technique. So I'm going to let the mantis out again and show you how I would capture any insect in my house, whether it was a spider or a mantis or something along those lines, to relocate it out of the house safely. So we're just going to let mantis out first. Here we go. Down here. Now, once... feel free to jump on off. There we go. All right, so now it's out in the open. Now, firstly, as a photographic subject, one of the things that I do find is sometimes they don't sit where I want them to. So if you wanted something to move, the best way to get an insect to move is to touch its back legs. So if I use this lid here and touch this back leg, the mantis will move a little bit, but not a lot. It's just enough to get them to move out of where they are a little bit. It's not a threat, it's not a major danger, it doesn't scare them, but it does encourage them to move forward a little bit. And this is really helpful for getting insects into position for photography. Once you have your insect out and about like this, if you want to put it back in the container, it may not go straight into the container you've got, but what you can do is put your container straight over your insect, and your insect is now contained, safe. Now, not everything will climb up onto the roof and sit there like this, but that is a very easy way for things to happen. Thank you, Mr. Mantis. But once you have your container of your insect, if you take a piece of paper, you can slide a piece of paper carefully under the edge of the container and slowly move it across. Now, the idea here is when there's things like spiders in your house, you don't want to catch their legs or hurt their legs. So if you move it slowly, it gives them an opportunity to move from the ground onto the paper without you pushing the paper across their legs, so that you can get your paper under your container completely and then pick up your container and your paper at once, turn it over the right way. Now that we have that, we can put our lid in the middle and slowly slide our paper out of the way so that we can put our lid on our container, just like that. And again, you'll notice in all of that, I have asked the mantis to move, I have picked the mantis up, and I have not once touched it with my hands. Very, very important that you try and avoid making contact with animals, even when they're in your house and you're trying to get rid of them. For your sake and for theirs, it just means that nobody's going to get bitten or scratched or hurt, and that's really good for everyone involved. So there's some tricks to keep in mind if you're ever relocating an animal or working with an insect pet for photography.